distant and far away from your worries and cares. And let the silence of this mountain sky absorb you. Allow your mind to be very high above all the petty dramas and very deep in the stillness and silence of the soul. Anchor yourself to your breath, breathing gently in and out. Letting the silence of this beautiful space wash over your mind and take you to deeper and deeper places of quietude inside. And as you tap into the power of your own silent mind, imagine that in front of you, there's a beautiful light pouring over all souls of the planet, like a waterfall of light. And hold the intention that this waterfall of light, this cascade of peace, touches every mind, every heart, every country, and every corner of the universe. See this light cascading onto souls, and feel this light as you hold the intention that all souls be touched by this warm, benevolent, loving light of healing peace. And imagine for a moment that that light washes over every single mind, igniting the light within them, igniting the peace within them.
Good afternoon, everyone. Om Shanti, greetings of peace. Welcome to A Positive Home Through a Positive Attitude. Meghna, facilitator of this session, and very warm welcome once again to Brahma Kumaris, Silicon Valley. Let's get started with a short meditation. Please join me. It's time to get some well-deserved rest for the mind and the body. We've been traveling for ages. Our mind, our heart, our body, everything is tired, and we need some deep, genuine rest. Let's take few deep breaths in silence. breathe in love, kindness, and compassion. This is who you really are. Breathe out, release stress, anger, or any type of negativity, because this is not who you are. It's time to experience our natural divine state. So I command my mind to withdraw itself from everything external and take me on a deep journey within. As I sit in my own company, I ask myself, how am I feeling? Is everything okay? The mind is talkative, chaotic, fragmented, and maybe we don't enjoy being in a company of a person who's constantly complaining, talking about failures, mistakes of the self or someone else. So we've been running away from our own self, but we have a choice. We've neglected our own mind, our own heart, and spirituality teaches us to be a parent, a mature, wise, and kind parent to your own mind, to your own heart. A child, when it is neglected, becomes either stubborn, withdrawn, mischievous. Nothing is lost. We still have a golden chance to become the parent of our own mind. We understand clearly that when the heart is sad, or when we are feeling resentment, jealousy, anger towards anyone, then we feel very uncomfortable. We don't enjoy our own company. We seek out for friends who can give us love, peace, joy. But everybody is caught up in their own problems, and they don't have that undivided attention kind of time for us. So why not become our own best friend and take care of ourselves? Disregard for the self and disregard for others causes a lot of suffering. It causes a lot of dirt to be accumulated in our memory space, in our subconscious, and in our heart. And then we try to run away from ourselves because the bad odor of hatred, resentment makes us uncomfortable. The natural state of I, the soul, is love, compassion, kindness, forgiveness. So I embrace my eternal truth of being a divine creation. And I invoke my eternal forever parent, the supreme energy, ocean of love, God. And with my light and God's light of truth finishes the darkness of suffering. Due to a variety of experiences in life, some good, some bad, we've developed a personality. When we understand that nobody is mean without any reason, they have been treated incorrectly. When I understand the bigger truth or the higher eternal truth of me and human family, I have no disregard for anyone. And why should I have disregard and spoil the aura of my heart, of my inner space? I forgive and I forget. I, the deity of love, needs a clean temple of heart to sit within and savor my own pure company. So paying regard, no matter how many mistakes I or others make, helps not only me, but gives me and others power to change and overcome the weakness. So the power of love is constructive and disregard is destructive. At every moment, I have a choice. Do I want to pay regard? Because disregard to others is a disregard to the self. And if I don't regard myself, then how can I expect others to regard me? Thank you. sweeter than the sweetest being, God, for awakening my heart and making it warm, vibrant with beautiful feelings once again. Welcome everyone on the second class for a positive home through a positive attitude. Today we will focus on counting blessings, attitude of counting blessings. And as always, would appreciate your participation. It was good to have an engagement last week. So pretty much in the same format, we'll continue to ask you all questions and would appreciate your prompt responses. So let's start off by what does it mean to count blessings? What are blessings? What does blessings really mean to you? Would love to hear your responses. If you can just use the chat, that would be good. And we will unmute you in the end. Thank you. Good health and family's health, good things and relationships we have. Empower the inner soul power, affirmative thoughts, good health and family's health. Thank you. Protection, extra boost of power and virtues. Yes. Indeed, there is a kind of protection in blessings. And whenever you're giving blessings, you're always hoping for good, right? Good for their emotional well-being, their physical. You want their relationships to be harmonious and for them to be successful in life, right? Whatever they are working on, whatever path that they have taken, we want them to be successful. That is what is called blessings. So it's an underline. It's a very big underline. As a parent, do I ever think, oh my gosh, my child is always going to be they're going to have a miserable life, or my spouse or my parents, their health is always going to be bad, I don't think they will come out of it, I don't think any good career will, my kid will have any good career because of X, Y, and Z. It's an exact opposite of blessings. And many times we don't realize, especially if we are not actively self-reflecting, taking those silent moments, we won't even realize when our mind is actually creating a curse. So when you're not thinking good, then you are thinking ill, right? So counting blessing means really you're consciously making an effort. And maybe it actually, maybe in the beginning it starts consciously, but you can reach a state where your every thought is naturally a blessing. You're not even making an effort. You're not even saying anything, but every thought of yours is filled with blessings, that automatically your heart is singing a song of may all be well, that your fortune stays well, that everyone, and there's also a lot of gratitude in heart that due to God's grace and mercy, all is well. So that is what is attitude of counting blessings. And this is such an important attitude to have, especially for parents, because kids catch on so quickly. And imagine if through your personality, you're able to relate to them that let's focus on all the things that are going well for us as a family. There is exact opposite of this is counting missings, right? So what are we doing? We have to check, am I counting blessings or missings? Because wherever your energy, wherever your attention is going, whether you're always finding, oh, this should have been there, why is my child not having good grades in science, or why is my child not good in piano or whatever, or why is my child not tall, why is my child not fair? We have so many things we focus on. So wherever your focus is, energy, your thoughts are going there. That means your energy, you are inviting, you're sending invitation to that. That's what will grow. That means you will now start finding more faults, more missings in your child, in your family, in your life. So very important, this attitude, because if you focus on blessings, you will find so many things are going right. This is what is the attitude. Where is your attention going? And that's how you will perceive life to be full of blessings or full of missings. Why is it important to count blessings? What are the merits that come out of it? Question for you all. If you could please use the chat. For positive life. Absolutely. Absolutely. You attract what you invite, right? So you're only focusing on positive. You're only thinking everything is going well. You invite more good things in your life, and that gives you inner peace to feel good and positive thoughts. Absolutely. Indeed, blessings is focusing on positive, and it increases the power of the soul. Because the more you're happy, they say, right? Happiness is the best medicine. Even doctors advise to be happy. Sometimes medicine does not work because you are being so stressed or fearful. In fact, many surgeries cannot take place when you are stressed or fearful. They have to wait for your nerves to calm down. So when you are happy, the soul feels a lot of power, balanced and successful life. Very good. Miserable if you think about what you're missing. No end to materialistic thing. Yes, actually, very true. Materialistic, there is a totally different ball game if you're focusing on that. But even on the, at the personality level, nobody is perfect. Our kids, our partner, our in-laws, our parents, everybody has some lackings. Where am I focusing on? Oh, this person doesn't give me attention. So we can think about subtle missings. One is gross missing, which is the materialistic one. Here we are trying to focus more on the subtle aspect, the personality problems, relationship problems, work-related problems. So a person who's always focused on blessings, they learn the art to remain content. They have no complaints. They can adjust with anyone because they are not like, oh my gosh, why is this person like this? Or why do they choose the food? Nothing. They will be content. Contentment leads to a lot of gratitude in heart. And like one of you already said, attraction. You attract what you focus. You don't have so much money. You have enough to survive. You're doing well, but not so much that you can lead a very, very comfortable life. But you're so happy. You're constantly feeling you're so blessed. You have enough money. You will end up attracting a lot more money. There is so much of this law and there is so much science to it. Read up on it, what kind of intention you put out in the universe, what kind of thought you put and how you invite that. There are many books on this. Life will feel like a blessing. If you are only counting blessings, then you'll always be in the seventh heaven. It's like even a small thing, you will feel, oh my gosh, I'm the luckiest one. I'm the most fortunate one. There's nobody as lucky as me. And people will think nothing really big happened. But for you, every little thing is a huge blessing. You celebrate life and you become the one who is counting blessings. They end up giving a lot of blessings to others because they are a very happy person. And a happy person can't help it but spread that happiness to others. And they really become the bestower of blessings. They're not even having the intention, but because they feel their life is so full, so perfect, that they can't help but have good wishes for everyone. They want everyone to be happy, successful. So in essence, you become a bestower of blessings. Yeah, feel the state of bliss, Anand, absolutely. That Anand can never be achieved through materialistic or work or relationships. Anand is a creation that the soul experiences when it is giving unlimitedly. For them, difficulties will seem very easy. A person who's focusing on missings, for them, even a small issue will be like, oh my gosh, my life is already lacking so many things, and now this one has happened. I already don't have so many things. Now one more thing is missing. So it will be a slightest thing that somebody maybe didn't wish them, like 100 people wish them and maybe one person forgot to wish, they will find life to be difficult. And a person who finds his life to be blessing, always a blessing, doesn't matter to them if nobody even wished them. That much is the power of, what kind of attitude you have. And such a person who learns how to be happy, always focuses on the positive aspect of life, they are blessed by God. They are sustained by God. Because even God is amazed at, man, this person doesn't have many demands. Such little things make them happy. And even if they don't have that little things, they tend to focus on what is going well. This even melts. Well, God's heart is always soft and melted, but it really gets them extra blessings from God. So they are not only filled with blessings from others, but they also get blessings from God. Now, how do we develop the attitude of counting blessings? So one is indeed gratitude towards everything, enables us to realize our own good fortune. But how do we develop this and enhance this attitude of counting blessings? Would love to hear your thoughts again, please. Explicit change in thoughts from negative to positive, reminding the mind of all the positives. Write a gratitude journal. Very good. Ignore negative people around you. Being content and peaceful. Consciously look at difficult situations and counting good things. Very good. Very good. Thank you. Very good ideas. Yeah. So really that, one of your suggestions where you sit and write down a journal, it's really a self-reflection. Appreciate what we have. Yes, every day we should take out a time. For me, my daughter who tends to get anxious and worried all the time, one of the things I have recommended, and she seems to be following it for quite some time, is to have end of the night gratitude for all the things, at least 3 things that went well. And she does that every night. And nowadays she's also started adding to it blessings. How was her day blessed? How lucky has she been when compared to the rest of the world? That makes her actually forget about a lot of these small things that happen at school. Being in high school, she gets very much concerned and disturbed. But she's a very mature person. A very wonderful thought here, by the way. Seeing glass half full and not half empty. That's such a powerful thing, right? And we forget sometimes. We know of all these powerful quotes, and I use this term a lot in my family with my kids. And I'm like, I'll say it very not in a advisory or like a guide or anything, but I'll joke, hey, for me the glass is looking full. I know you are focusing on the half empty. For me, even though it is half empty, I can already see the fullness. I know it is full, right? So it's a good reminder. But this cannot develop just like that. We have to take out the time. And it has to be a daily ritual, because we are surrounded by people and the vibrations in the atmosphere where everybody is counting their missings. It is the reality of the world. Majority of the people are focusing on their missings. They're not focusing on their blessings. So if I consciously don't take out the time, every day we have to develop, it doesn't take more than a minute to thank before going to sleep. What were my blessings? Start your day with how blessed you are. This exercise itself will take you a long way. You need time, silence time for this. And the other important part is, like some of you already alluded to this fact, is it's not just when everything is going well and only finding good things, when all is well. But even when things are going bad, maybe extremely bad, still having this faith that there is a blessing hidden in this, that kind of attitude of a very deep realization, my every part, every second of my life is a blessing. That awareness, that this attitude of blessing never leaves me, that develops when we awaken our third eye. That is when we open our third eye, the eye of the soul or the eye of knowledge. Are others able to hear me? Can you please confirm with yes or no? Amrit seems to not be able to hear me. Yes, okay, thank you. So you might want to log off and log back in again, if that is okay. Thank you for others for confirming. So in this particular thing, when you open your third eye of knowledge, which is very far sighted, it's not looking, so the two physical eyes look at a very limited dimension of life. It could be this particular scene, or it could be one particular day you're evaluating, or maybe you're checking an entire life. But the third eye is an unlimited eye. It has no limits. It's not doing any kind of short-sighted decision. So this basically is, when you are using your third eye, then even in bad situations, you will find goodness. You'll be able to spot that this thing also was a blessing. And the person who's using only their physical eyes, they will find it to be huge missings. They will curse life. They will say, destiny is unfair. My luck is bad. People in my life are mean. God himself is also not on my side. That is the story of person who's only evaluating their life with the physical eyes, which means they don't have any spiritual knowledge. They are not aware of the unlimited truth of the soul or the journey of the soul. And the one who has this third eye, the eye of truth opened, then they also know about the laws of karma. These are unescapable laws. So just like the soul is eternal and imperishable, the returns of every karma that the soul performs, karma is basically action. Every deed that you perform, the result of that deed is imperishable. And very nicely, the example given is, if you sow the seeds of bitter melon in your backyard, you will get bitter melon. You are not going to get sweet mangoes. So if you want sweet mangoes, you have to sow the seed of sweet mangoes. This is exactly like this, that maybe in the past, knowingly or unknowingly, it could be this life, it could be previous, it could be few lives back. I could have sown some seeds of negativity. And many times our ego says, no, I am very kind. I could never have been mean to anyone. It's not possible that each one of us, as we've gone through this cycle of life and death, we've had variety of experience and exposures. We don't know what we have been before. We only know about our current birth, plus we get a sense of vibrations from others based on our connections in the past. So when we use the third eye of knowledge with the spiritual laws of karma, one way to think about anything that is happening is good riddance. This negative karma that I had performed is now getting cleared. The more negative actions or deeds get cleared, settled, the soul feels very light, very empowered. All our bad deeds are like a huge burden, and those burdens don't allow us to fly. So for me now, even if there is an issue with the body, good clearance. It's good clearance. It doesn't mean I don't go to the doctor. It doesn't mean I don't take care of the body. I do. Wherever it is needed, I will. Before, I would immediately. Now I'm like, my tolerance power has increased because I know it's my own thing. I have to settle it. Relationship issues arise. I know why it is coming. Doesn't mean I take all the disregard from others. I will speak up where it is needed. But there is no suffering here because I know this is my own. Negative energy sent is coming back. It has to be settled. So when you see everything is getting settled and I am developing the power of tolerance, the power of being kind, then um, nothing shakes you. So using the third eye, you will find even in the most negative situations, you will only find all is going well. And this is what it is that, it does require faith in the law of karma. And for me, I have experimented with it, like saying, okay, let me try maintaining faith. And that faith enabled me to have a lot of patience while going through that uncomfortable situation. And that end of the day, I could see how I felt light, clearing whatever it was in a very positive manner. So you do need that third eye to see the unseen benefit of life. Every situation, there is a benefit. Every moment life is teaching us, is enabling us to grow. When even a death happens, life is teaching us that, hey, nobody is here forever. Don't take anything for granted. It is asking you to lead an awakened life. Don't try to fear, but don't try to think everything is for granted. So when we learn the art of seeing good in everyone, when we learn the art of seeing good in life at every moment, then indeed you've learned the art to constantly count blessings. You don't know what it means to be going through any kind of missings, right? You only are so busy that your attention doesn't even go on what is missing. You always tend to find, no, I have enough, but this is missing. It doesn't matter. I don't know it. I don't feel like I'm missing anything. I have so much already. It would be unfair if I get more because I already have so much. That's the kind of awakening we want, where we feel no, others should have more blessings. I already have too much. I feel others need. And indeed, if you look at this world, how much do others need, no, when compared to us? Let's experience just for a moment. I want you to take a minute and just, think about all the things that have gone so well in your life. Let's just take a minute to focus on that in silence with some music. It always warms you up whenever you think about all the things, how fortunate you have been. Every day, wake up and say, you are a blessed soul. Your kids are a blessed soul. Your spouse, your family, everyone is blessed. Visualize it again and again. And very quickly, I do want to save more time for questions because there were a lot of questions last time and we couldn't go. But here, just a overall sense, right? What are you focusing on? Whether it is self, what should you focus on? Not on your mistake, obviously. Focus on your higher purpose. Why are you here? What is your purpose? What have I already given to the world? Don't focus on what you have not too much. Yes, do make a plan, but don't sit and regret about what you could have done or what you didn't do. At work, again, acknowledge, this work is a place to showcase your potential. to showcase what you can bring to people and people's life. It's given you a fantastic chance. In relationships, it's a chance again for you to wear that crown of crucial responsibility. As a parent, it's a huge responsibility. It doesn't mean you need to get very worried or fearful, but no, it is such an important, you are really grooming someone to become a beautiful adult. So it's a great chance. Thank your blessings that you have a family where you can express and share love. And if others are not, what can I do to at least share? Because one positive will change the entire family. Every soul likes love, whether they're showing it or not. Every soul likes love. So why not? Let me start. If they are not able to do it, at least let me keep doing. And on life, focus on what you already have, all the beautiful experiences you have, how life has been so kind to you. So the more you focus on all the positive, every dimension of life, look at it and find all the blessings. You are developing the attitude of counting blessings. And this is such an important skill to give to your child. The kids are also learning through some stories today, the same topic they've already learned actually. So hopefully as a family, you all can discuss. And that will be an interesting conversation at dinner table, I'm hoping. And then always keeping the attitude of counting blessings emerged, right? When you are with your family, it should always be in an emerged manner. And sometimes imagining your own family as a 5 fingers, all different, similar. Fingers are similar if you think about it. They not look similar, but the texture and the skin color and everything is same, yet the shape and the size is different. Each one has its own strengths, its own skills that it is used for. So everyone is important. So if you think of yourself as that unity model, then you will tend to focus more on counting blessings. It is a given that in a big family, everybody will be different, everybody's skill set will be different. But then when we put it all together, when we cooperate with each other, then it becomes a beautiful picture, right? That puzzle gets solved, you find a end result to be a beautiful picture. So it's quite possible that when we are in a family, some of us are working maybe extra hard, or some of us are maybe extra kind, and some people are maybe just bossy, they're just gossipers, or they are lazy. It's quite possible. When we start focusing on those lackings of others, that is when all kinds of conflicts start in the family, and nothing in the family is improving because we are focusing on negative. So we feel as if the entire family is a negative experience. So taking the time out, last class, we talked about attitude of regard for all. And regard automatically develops when we are able to find some specialities in others, some qualities in others. And it's impossible that people don't have specialities. Behind that laziness, there is certainly something that is very good about them. Taking out the time, pouring water on that qualities will make them so strong that they will be able to even eventually let go of that weakness of being lazy. So we have to keep that attitude of counting blessings, that every family member is a blessing. Without them, this family would have not been a full hand, a full fist. We couldn't have survived in this world without each other. Think about it as a very cohesive force versus, I'll be my own, you be in your own way, let's not get into each other's way. That just breaks apart everything. So important to acknowledge different, yet we are strongly connected to each other. And I want to leave with this homework. Last week, we wanted to share a homework, but we didn't. But this week, really want you to, start and end your day by blessing yourself and others with vibrations of peace, joy, and love. Start immediately. You get up immediately. get up and say, oh my gosh, I'm such a blessed soul. Count 2, 3 things why you find yourself to be so blessed. And then send those vibrations of blessings, of peace, love, and joy to everyone in your family. End of the day, note down, did you focus on some lackings? Why? What happened? Why were you focusing on the lackings? Don't you have enough blessings? Can you not be without those lackings? Can't you stay happy without it? Ask yourself certain questions and see tomorrow, how will you change it? How will you change that lacking also to be a blessing? And again, before going to sleep, conduct a short meditation and send blessings, send thanks to everyone, including God. This is how I end my day. I'll sometimes just thank for everything, or sometimes I'll be like, oh my gosh, how blessed I am, how fortunate I am. Thank everyone. Then go with such positive energy, like a blessed soul. Sleep. Your sleep, even for 4 or 5 hours, will be like as if you slept for 8, 10 hours, right? It will be a very powerful sleep. And you'll get up in the morning smiling, thinking, man, you were so blessed. Entire night, somebody was blessing you. Indeed, it was you yourself blessing your own self. So with that, I would like to take a pause and open it up to any questions. Feel free to unmute yourself and ask questions. Anybody has any questions? You can type over the chat or Q&A, or you can unmute yourself and ask the questions. Okay, maybe I can ask a question. Suppose your child is being disobedient or being slightly rude. Suppose is going through some teenage phase and is always trying to contradict you. How do you find life to be a blessing at that moment? Your child to be a blessing and your life to be a blessing. How do you at that moment feel like that? And this has been going on for a month or so. Your child is constantly trying to contradict you, challenge you, be disobedient. How do you? Yeah, what would be the? Anybody on the chat, or unmute yourself and yes, focus on child's positive qualities. Make sure you're disappointed in their action, but not with them. Opportunity to clear karma by tolerance. Visualize the child as a peaceful soul, send them positive vibes. How you will remain peaceful during stress situation. Thinks child's positive things make child is making me more tolerant to unfavorable feelings. Wow, so powerful. Indeed, it's your own test. Without this test, how would you know whether how much tolerance you have, how much patience do you have, right? And indeed, parenting, you have to go through a lot of storms, variety of storms. This generations, kids, raising them is no easy thing. I at least feel I was so much more easier. What Lord, it's a whole different ball game on how I was raised. I feel it was so easy for my parents versus us. And imagine the next generation after our kids, that will be even more difficult to raise, right? So indeed, it's only on these tough situations we come to know of what all exists within us. So it's an opportunity for us to grow as a spiritual being, and also that, hey, in a family we will go through rough and good phases. It's not just me alone, everybody goes through it. And many times we find grass is greener on the other side. We're saying, oh, they are blessed family, my family, all kinds of issues. This is again a eye of looking at limited things, right? So yes, good and bad phases do come in life. It's a phase and it has come. That is completely fine. Must be, it is time to also reflect, did I maybe micromanage my child too much? Because it's at phase, right? Young age, we do need to give them a lot of guidance, and sometimes it becomes such a habit, deep habit, that we are constantly giving them instructions. And they're out 8 and 9. They want to be left alone. In fact, nowadays, I feel it starts a lot sooner than 8 and 9. They don't want any guidance. They don't want micromanagement. And then they start getting irritated. So maybe we have to acknowledge that I have been giving too many advices. It's time for me to step back. So then it certainly helps. It's never too late, I feel, for spiritual knowledge. I feel anytime you get it, it is so applicable. It doesn't need to be, even with your own kids, this is applicable to any situation, with anybody. Right? That we need to have people. We meet with all kinds of people. Even if you go to a shop, you can meet someone who's being rather rude. How do you remain calm? How do you not lose your dignity? Right? Otherwise, if we've lost our dignity, that means it's all gone. They have the power to decide my personality. Nobody should have power over my personality. My personality is always graceful, always smiling. So that's very good. Very good. Any other questions? Okay, 2 questions. Grades not going very well, and especially if the kids are in high school, and where grades become a big factor in getting into a good college and everything. For me, through multiple things, what I have seen is one of the things that is most important that the kids should not lose is that positivity, that the spirit of life, right? Where they want to try, that they feel all roads are not closed. There's always an opening. That will come only when the parent actually feels that. If the parent is only visualizing that all doors for future are closing for my child, then indeed they will be closed. And for me, it's a practical example, because 3 kids, and my 2 siblings. One of my sibling was very smart, a child prodigy kind of a thing, and always excelled. And the teacher would always compare him to the 2 other, that is, one of them was me, that, hey, they don't seem to study, or they don't seem to be doing well, you need to take care. And my parents were one relaxed parents. They said it's okay or whatever, but the teachers would keep telling. So they finally, somehow got us into some tuitions and this and that. But this entire, like, I think at least till 10th or 11th grade, I was, or no, not till 10th, but for a very long time, I was not at all serious. And my parents never pressurized. They always encouraged, but they never pressurized. So they had destroy my attitude of wanting to try and grow. And wherever I grow, it will be fine. So over things what I have seen is that kept my spirit. I kept trying. I did decent. Obviously, not like my elder sibling who was a child prodigy, almost like a child prodigy, but still very well. So it depends upon what you are aspiring, right? Especially in US, there are so many colleges, there are so many options that maintain that faith that if one door closes, there'll be many other doors that will open. And you have to acknowledge that if I as a parent close doors, and if I feel like that, then how scared will my child be? So when you keep in your mind that no, indeed everything is looking dark, something bright will come. Every child comes with their own destiny. That destiny will knock. It's a matter of time. Let me maintain faith in my child's good destiny and visualize them as a blessed soul. And I think you'll certainly see those things coming up. So yeah, when you see kids comparing with each other and thinking that, you know, they are better and I am this and all of that, I think one is to really help them develop the attitude of being appreciative, that, hey, that's great, you know, to have that skill. And I also want to learn. Why not? I should also learn. And hey, I have this particular skill. I can teach you this. And can you teach me that? So develop in this attitude of being very appreciative when you find something good in others and you don't, right? There is nothing to, it's great, this person has that skill, I don't, that's fine. Let me see if I can learn. And I would also love to teach if they are willing, right? So developing that attitude of sportsmanship or whatever you want to call it, where you're happy about others' skills and specialities rather than feeling you know, that you are lacking anything. So we don't want to respond, at least this is the way I feel, we don't want to respond by saying, hey, but you are better in this. And so we don't want to start comparing by saying, hey, but you are better in this and they are not. That again leads to more and more comparison. But to say that, hey, that's great, you know, maybe you can learn, and in time you will also learn. And then some other time when they are good in something, just point out that, hey, this is such a specialty of you. I've never seen anybody have this kind of skill or something, right? To just give them that boost. My son is 13 and less connected to my husband. Even my husband does everything for him. Sometimes, again, this could be situation could be different for everyone, but sometimes I feel when we over try something, it kinds of, you know, becomes more of a repulsion because you're trying too hard, you're sending this energy, I want you to like me, I want you to hang out with me, I want you to have that strong connection with me, I want. And when there is that desperation or too much of trying also, it creates that. So just let it be natural, let it be, you know, where the child doesn't, if the child is feeling, maybe is feeling overwhelmed with all that attention and care, so maybe giving that child some space and letting it be very natural, come out very natural, might be an easier way. And wait for that child giving a signal rather than, you know, it was good that your partner tried and tried repeatedly in many different ways. It's great. But sometimes I feel it's good to wait and take those signals from the child, let it come out naturally versus you trying to. I think sometimes we try everything too hard. We want means we want, but sometimes universe has a different plan. So let's wait for that plan, maintain that good wish and that faith that whenever that time is, I'll be ready and I'll be available. So I'll take one last question, which is on son is 13 and more focused on screen time than study, how to manage. I acknowledge that it does get challenging, especially because you can't let them be without technology either, because everything, the homeworks, research, everything is happening on the computer. So it's not even like you can lock them out. But depends a lot on how your child is and how your personality is. It depends on a lot of different things. But for me, if I keep giving them 2 or 3 gentle reminders about, hey, it can't be this, you have to first prioritize your study, and after that check and use that time to do anything else, whether it is chit chatting or playing games. And if the child is not getting it, I would certainly put some kind of controls on technology to say, after, you're not going to be allowed to go on these places, and you will lose this privilege of going on anywhere if we keep seeing that you're not finishing your work, you're not doing well in studies, right? So create certain goals for your child by saying, this is what is expected, that your homework should be done, your grades should be here. If you're managing all that well, then it's fine. You manage your screen time, do whatever you want. But and we also expect you to, for example, show up at dinner, stay, be alive, not be on your gadgets, expect to have some family time. As long as you're doing all that, it's fine, because with a teenager you can't be too bossy either. But tell them, if these goals are not being met and you are constantly falling behind, then there will be certain privileges that will be taken over. So that's, you have to be firm sometimes. So balance between love and law. So it's not like you don't like your child and that's why you're taking away the screen time. Even when that screen time is taken away, be kind, be involved in your child. Let them not feel that you are not even talking to them, but you're certainly disciplining them, because you're trying to remind them that there's something more important than just idling away your time on gadgets. So with that, pretty much we are all out of time. Thank you all for a lot of engagement and discussions, very powerful responses. And on your chat, you will see some upcoming classes. There's a workshop coming out next Saturday on take care before experiencing work burnout. Then there is also a guided meditation series, 7:30 to 8. It will be very much similar to the topic we are going through. It's attitude of gratitude develops in solitude. That is what the guided meditation series will focus on. It will start on 22nd November till 28th November, every day, 7:30 to 8 p.m. in the evening for 1 week. So a lot of interesting programs. It does require you to sign up, just like you did for this parenting series. Strongly recommend all of these. It's going to be a very lively workshop with a lot of folks who are in IT industry and practice meditation. They'll be conducting breakout rooms. So it'll be, again, very engaging kind of workshop with meditation, some guided commentaries, and some insightful presentations. With that, if you have a minute, please stay back for a very short meditation. I am a blessed soul. Everything that I need has been bundled up within me. I don't need to look for it outside. Love, joy, and peace, they are within me. What else do I need? The body needs food, needs comfort, a bed, and some money. And love is already within me. All I have to do is to give, and give. The more I give to others, the more blessings will come my way. I will attract a lot of positivity in my life and in my family's life. I have the power to draw goodness closer to me, to draw good fortune towards me. I'm a blessed and a powerful soul. Thank you, God, for all the blessings. I'm a lucky child of God. Thank you, everyone, for joining us today. The recordings will be on YouTube. If you go to Brahma Kumaris Silicon Valley channel, you will find it there. Thank you all for joining us today. Hope you have a wonderful day and a beautiful week ahead.